Hello everybody, thanks for tuning into this video today. I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to talk about season 2 episode 15, the latest episode as of today for Vinland Saga, Storm. And I just want to say this episode is incredible. So far, this is my favorite episode in season 2 so far. In the entire show so far, I would say season 1 episode 24 was still my favorite, but in season 2 alone, this was my favorite episode. I got chills so many times throughout this 20-minute long episode, or at least a bit longer than 20 minutes. Even with the short run time in this show, we got to see so many things going on, whether it's with Arnheid and Gardar's character, or Orphin's character, or Snake's character. We got to see so much. And I really love this episode. This feels like a turning point for where the rest of the season is going to go to, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna say how this episode is peak episode. This episode is just incredible. Oh my goodness. Despite the runtime being very short, there are so many great things, but at the same time, it doesn't feel rushed either. The pacing was perfect. The animation stepped up quite a lot as well. Like the animation, comparing from the previous episodes in this season to this episode, the animation just stepped up a notch. I can clearly tell that it is just incredible. This episode starts out with Arnheid's character, and yeah, in the previous episode, we see her, wanting to go to treat her husband, Gardar's wounds. She went to go see him, and yeah, despite knowing all what Snake said and the trouble she could be facing, she still went on ahead because, she loves her husband and she wants to talk to him, more importantly, about certain things especially with their son, with what happened with their son and things like that. So in this episode, we start off with very powerful talk and conversation between Gardar's character as well as Arnheid's character, where they apologize to each other about things they wanted to apologize about and things like that. It was truly incredible to watch, especially when Gardar brought up the point about their son, and then you can see Arnheid's expression to it all, how she regrets what has happened. And then when Gardar kills one of Snake's men because he touched her and he wants to be protective of her, and then Snake's men come out and they all, out the aftermath they showed, and then Snake was there looking at it where all his men were all gone. And yeah, I'm not going to judge what exactly happened. Like, I think this thing happened where her character, she actually released Gardar and Gardar killed them all. But I'm not going to say what happened because they didn't show it. They only showed the aftermath. So I'm going to wait and see what exactly happened. I'm probably wrong here. So yeah. And during that moment when Gardar kills the man and then Snake's men come out, you can see the internal conflict in Arnheid's mind, where she's actually thinking whether to release her husband Gardar or just let things go, let things slide. But Gardar tells her that if she doesn't release him, they both die. And then you can see her holding her tummy because she's pregnant with the child of the boss. And yeah, so she's in an internal conflict. What should she do? Like, what's best for the child? What's best for her child that's in her belly right now? That's what she was thinking, and that is just such a powerful scene to watch. And then she also sees the kind of monster that Gardar has become because of war and slavery. I mean, Snake did warn her about that in the previous episode, so it's kind of a build up to that episode. And it's not just that the part where she was holding her stomach thinking, what's best for the child. At least that's how I perceive it. It's also something she's been thinking. It's also something that was built up from the previous episode where she says she's actually pregnant and things like that. So she sees the kind of monster that her husband has become, and Snake has warned her about it, but she still went on ahead, and this is just consequence and things like that. And yeah, we get to see so much from Arnheid's character in this episode and the previous episode as well. Then after that, they show us the aftermath of how Snake's reaction to it all was, how angry he became, which shows how much he cares for his men. And yeah, it's just really great writing and things like that. I really loved it. At that moment when there were a few moments I got chills. Firstly, Arnheid making that decision, and then she's in there. I was so worried for her. And then seeing Snake walk off angrily after seeing the aftermath of what happened to his men just gave me chills. And then after they move on to Thorfinn and Einar, where they are, just outside their area, just talking to each other and things like that. And then Thorfinn finally talks to Einar about the struggles, the internal struggles that he's been through. This entire season has been about internal struggles, and I really love that. I actually love internal struggles over external struggles, and that's why I really love this show so much, because it talks about the internal struggles that characters face, and I really love that. And here we see Thorfinn talking to Einar about his internal struggles, about how the people he's killed in the past, how he wants to repay them back, and how they are holding him back and things like that, how he's guilty of them. And I really love the visual storytelling they use to show it and things like that, how the people are grabbing onto his shoulders and his body and pulling him down. And yeah, truly incredible writing and things like that. And I got chills from that as well. And then we go to see Snake's men coming in and then searching their barn, and Thorfinn and Einar figure out that Gardar went away, and now they're worried for Arnheid about what happened to her and things like that, and they just stopped this episode there. And that was such a cliffhanger. I really wanted to see more. And also the conversation between Einar and Thorfinn is incredible. This is something else that I've talked about in my why you should watch it list for the Vinland Saga. The dialogue in this show is just incredible. How they, in this scene where Thorfinn and Einar are talking, they talk about, Thorfinn tells him about how to make up for all the houses he's destroyed, he's going to build new ones. To make up for all the fields that he's trampled, he's going to make new fields. And that's just something incredible about the Farmland Saga art. It's just such incredible dialogue and writing, and I really love that. And when Thorfinn also finally remembers about what his father told him about this place called Vinland, how Leif went there and things like that, also absolute chills. So yeah, this season was just peak episodes, so I hope to see more of it coming soon, and I really love it. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. And by the way, I have not read the manga, so do not spoil anything in the comments section below. Thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.